Okay, so for this section, we are going to be looking at combining after we distribute, as well as some fractions with this. So let's take a look at what question 7 looks like. Question 7 is 9 times w plus 5 minus 8 w minus 4, or something similar. The first step is to distribute. So you take the 9 and multiply it times the w and 5, and you are left with 9w plus 45. Now with this next step, this is an 8, and treat this as a negative 8 when you multiply it times the w and the 4. And when you do that, you'd be left with minus 8w. And this is a negative 8 times a negative 4, so that leaves you with a positive 32. Now we want to combine like terms, and we're going to combine like terms by first adding the positive 9w, and then you're going to subtract 8w, which leaves you with just 1w or just w. That's fine. And then the next piece we are going to go ahead and combine is positive 45 plus 32. So that's going to equal a positive 77. And like I said, you can write it as 1w plus 77 or just w plus 77. Both will work with this. All right, let's take a look at something similar to question 8. Your question 8 will look something like 2 times 5x minus 4y, and then minus x plus 6y. All right, same idea. We're going to take the number in front, which in this case is a 2, and distribute it to both pieces. And that will leave us with 2 times 5x, which is 10x. And then our 2 times a negative 4y, which is negative 8y. And then for the next piece, even though it's not written there, there's an understood 1 to be up front, and that tells us we changed the signs of both of the terms and then after it inside the parentheses. So that gives us a negative x and a positive 6. Whoops, excuse me. It's definitely a negative x and a negative 6y. Now, with this, we want to combine our like terms. So we're going to go ahead and combine a positive 10x minus, and that's an understood 1x. So that leaves us with 9x. And then for the y's, 8y, which is negative, and a 6y, which is also negative. The signs are the same. So I add 8 plus 6, which is 14, negative 14y. And the last question in this section has to do with fractions. So as we look at question 9, what I am looking at is I have negative b over 2a, and then off to the side they tell us where a is equal to negative 9 and b is equal to 7. And remember what I said before, whenever you're plugging these in, you're plugging them in as a parenthesis. So a is negative 9, so that's going to go and replace it here. Please use a parentheses. Same thing with b. b is 7, so b will go inside here. So I rewrite that as negative 7 all over 2 times a, which is negative 9. Now in the numerator, that gives us a negative 7, and then in the denominator, it's a negative 18. Now with this, I have a negative over a negative, which is a fraction, so that turns the whole fraction into a positive 7 over 18.